encouraging thing whatsoever. I don't see that if you're trying to get electability.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to help Biden at all. I think Biden is going a little bit down. And to be honest,
In those key states
I
too,
wouldn't
South Carolina, all that
really,
stuff.
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't really be too. Like, I'm not going to be crying about, oh no, Biden's, going down. I honestly, any person, look, I don't really care for some of Sanders' policies. I think he's a little bit too left on certain things, in my opinion. I mean, I consider myself a moderate leaning left. There are some aspects, though, that I am progressive. Like, if I ever ran for office, which I have plans of doing in way distant future, I wouldn't take a cent from excuse me, what am I saying? From corporations. That's the thing I do like that
Mm-hmm.
Sanders does. But there's definitely certain aspects of myself that I find a little bit more moderate. I mean, environmental, I'm pretty left as well, but I'm not Green New Deal left. I'm more of let's do government change while growing the economy. But Green New Deal, I find, is a little bit out there, and I don't think you can necessarily. I think it's a little bit unicornish, especially since, I mean, Democrats going to come in 2021. I don't think we can make the U.S. a zero emission grid in 9 years. I mean, it's pretty fast, unless we're going to be jacking up rates, and then we're going to have to really hunker down on the energy companies, which I feel like I don't really want to make a war necessarily against corporations. I'd rather just put many things on corporations, but making a war then will just and they have such an overarching harm again, on the American consumer. They can just jack up rates whenever they really feel, which is the problem. And they can be like, oh well, he made this happen, which is exactly what they did under Obama. By the way, with the Clean Power Plan BS, that they were like, oh, your electric rates are higher because of Obama's Clean Power Plan, which was not true whatsoever. I mean, they didn't have to jack up rates. They just chose to try to frame Obama as someone who was all high tax and bad for the U.S. economy.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
But
interesting. I'm seeing a tweet after tweet here about how Joe Biden is really failing. This is Peter Hamby, the guy who does news on Snapchat. Biden people in Clive high-fiving because they hit the viability threshold by one person. One woman screamed Carter at some dude, and he ran over at the last second. Glad we choose presidents with series of lightly regulated, barely managed high school lock-ins. That seems to be it's just such a weird scenario, but hey, it's the rules that we're playing with, and we got to do the best to win them. But anyway, it's yeah. How many other states do have caucuses though? Because I'm pretty sure there's a good amount of them.
You asked how many states we have left, or what did you
say? How many are caucuses? It's my question.
Oh, I think we just have New Hampshire, and is Nevada a caucus? I don't think
no,
Nevada
New Hampshire's a
is.
primary.
I think Nevada's a primary.
So is New Hampshire.
New Hampshire's a primary?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's actually good. I think Iowa might be the only one. Doesn't sound right though. I feel like there's one more for some reason. I don't know though. I know that Nevada is a primary. So is South Carolina, I believe. Yeah. Wait. Yeah.
Nevada's a primary.
South
Carolina, I think, is also a primary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. How many of these are? It's kind of hard to tell. But anyway, yeah, less than 5% of pledged delegates are set to be awarded by caucuses in the Democratic primary. So at least we have that. So that seems like a bigger deal. Yeah, what do you think is going to happen tomorrow? I think what my prediction is, there's going to be a lot of people coming out of MSNBC saying, "Oh, the Iowa caucus, it's overrepresents Iowa. It's not a real coalition. It doesn't matter. Bernie Sanders, if he does win, it's not going to be a big deal." It's going to be very, very funny to see some of the excuses that come popping up like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's going to be hilarious. They're going to be like, oh, well, he just didn't really focus on Iowa that much. He was focusing more on New Hampshire. That's what they'll say.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's not focusing. He's not going to be successful. And I think if he comes up with especially a big win, it could really help with the electability and what they're trying to do. Yeah. I love the trope of Pete Buttigieg getting, like, the people on Twitter was like, oh, he's gonna what? Oh my! I just saw on Twitter, State of the Senate. This is a Representative Kent Coffey. Is a senator from Tennessee. Apparently his big thing is taking a swig of a Hershey's chocolate milk, or not chocolate syrup bottle as this happens. Like, that'll be very, very funny. Like, that's a funny little thing there. All right. Cory Booker may have dropped out, but he won a state delegate at a caucus at Drake University in a protest move by Yang, Klobuchar, and Biden supporters. Yeah. So this is interesting here.
Interesting.
Another thing that we get from the Iowa caucuses. This is a report from Lisa Lair. She spoke to a woman who was driven to her caucus app by a friend supporting Bernie Sanders, so she felt pressured to back him. This is public voting. This is how it works. Intimidation here. The Biden campaign insists what they mean when they're talking about electability. They mean in November, but no doubt a shaky showing here would prompt the questions. What I'm trying to say. Yeah, so it looks like we're getting a slight bit more votes. Buttigieg still in the lead here. We're getting a little bit. Trump campaign sources, both inside and close to the campaign, say some officials in the president's re-election effort are all but rooting for a Bernie Sanders victory that begins to sow chaos inside the Democratic Party. And trust me, it would sow chaos. But Trump should not be thrilled about it, because if Bernie Sanders has become the nominee, then I think Trump has, and this has been in leaked audio, that he will not be entirely thrilled about that either. Longer the better will drain the resources and create further division, said this official. The official went on to envision a dreamlike scenario for Trump, with the Democratic Party is forced to go to its convention without settling on a nominee. That would be terminal for them. A self-inflicted civil war among Democrats was how another Trump advisor described the campaign's ideal scenario. And I really don't think that's entirely the case. When we see this all happening here, I think a lot of people are going to want unity, and they're going to want unity fast and right away. So that push, I think, is going to be incredibly influential in getting the whole party online. And I think Democratic voters are largely going to want to come behind their nominee and support their guy, quote unquote.
Yeah, I definitely agree there. Also, we have some more results coming in. Bernie, 300 vote lead. Right now, Warren is in second, Buttigieg in third, and Biden in fourth.
Where are you seeing this?
Actually, tied with Klobuchar. If you scroll down on the New York Times again with the satellite ones.
Oh, the satellite ones?
You get the first vote.
Oh,
yeah. Including the satellite one, yeah.
It looks like Biden supporters...
Klobuchar,
Biden supporters in Des Moines 41st tried to get viability on the second round and gave up. The precinct captain freed them to join other candidates. So it looks like they're not... I haven't heard many stories of them getting viability, at least in these reports as of yet. In the final vote, though, yeah, Buttigieg is
they're all just
hanging
running
out
away
with 1,252
it seems like they're going to other
voters
candidates
at the time.
Yeah.
So that obviously this doesn't really mean very much, but yeah. Hopefully we do get some mass results here, but nothing major coming through at this point. Looks like, yeah, still the same as before, 33-28. Biden,
which doesn't make sense at all to me,
Sanders
but whatever.
But I'm sure they have some nerds calculating it in the back room of the New York Times at the moment. But
but it doesn't add up, though. How was Biden going to get this? How in God's name could he win?
He's just based on what
now.
we're hearing, it's like there's not a lot of interesting stuff. But yeah, there's not.
Biden's not doing good at all tonight.
Yeah, we don't know. Looks like we do have a new update.
All I'm going to say is whoever wins this, historically since 2000, has gone on to become the nominee. So,
with just this
Democrat, yeah, just this
for since 2000, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Al Gore, John Kerry, Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. So, and then if you pull a 1-2 punch, which not even Hillary Clinton did last time, that'll be huge.
No, she didn't do.
Bernie Sanders is going to come on to win pretty easily.
He's going to do New Hampshire. mean, he's going to do New Hampshire pretty easily. I mean, he should. If he doesn't do them, that should be alarming then for him if he doesn't win New Hampshire. But I don't see that happening.
If who wins New Hampshire? Who thinks they are going to win New Hampshire?
It's a close race right now between Biden and Sanders again, but I don't know if that's going to be accurate because that's what they were saying with Iowa, and he is polling right around the same as Klobuchar right now. So,
all right, here's an
like with the votes in Iowa.
See if we can get a report here from reports from Sanders. This is the latest we can hear from Sanders right now. Get a little bit of an update on that for you. Here we go.
Coming in, and there's no real sense of frustration right now, but there is a general sense of anxiety because they came here expecting to celebrate a victory for Bernie Sanders in his campaign. And I do have to say, just in talking with Sanders campaign officials, they also don't have much information to provide. I asked their campaign official just a few minutes ago about where they feel they're standing right now, and they said, you need to ask the Iowa Democratic Party because they know just as much as we know in terms of the results coming in. Now, we should point out, Wolf, that these campaigns, especially the larger campaigns, those in the top four especially, do have precinct chairs, people in each one of these venues who their responsibility is to track this progress and then report back to their campaign headquarters. But still, there seems to be a lack of information, or at least an unwillingness to share that information with us. As you can see, since we've been up on the screen here in this room, we did get a reaction from the Sanders supporters here. They still feel pretty confident. They still believe that Bernie Sanders is in a strong position to win. But right now, they're like all of us, just waiting to see when these results will come in.
Waiting and waiting and waiting. Ryan Noble's over at the Sanders headquarters. Arlette Saenz is over at the Biden headquarters, also in Des Moines for us. What are you hearing? What are you seeing over there?
As you can see, since we've been up on the screen.
Well, people here are very eager to start hearing results. The campaign has not heard anything specifically about why the results have yet to start to come in, but we've seen people starting to file into this caucus night headquarters party. They're still waiting to see exactly how their candidate is going to perform this evening. We've heard some anecdotal stories as we've seen played out at each of these caucus sites, but the Biden campaign has still been arguing that Iowa is not necessarily a must-win for him in this primary and caucus process. They keep pointing to the states beyond, like South Carolina and Super Tuesday states, where they see a strong, diverse demographic that is supporting the former vice president. Now, he has poured a lot of resources into this state, and so they're hoping that they can finish tonight with a strong showing. But right now, just as everyone across the state is, they're waiting to hear what those first results might be for the evening. Wolf.
And Arlette, at some point, we do expect to hear from the former vice president there, right?
We sure do. And the former vice president has been back at his hotel watching these results come in. I spoke with his wife, Jill Biden, earlier today, who told me that they're going to be with their grandchildren. He's also with some top advisors, and he is closely watching how exactly this vote is going to come in. You know, Joe Biden spent a lot of time in rural areas. He focused a few of his bus tours in those rural, smaller areas where they think he could potentially have a stronger showing. So that is an area that they're going to be keeping an eye on tonight as these results begin to come in.
All right, thanks very much.
Yeah, so that is a bit of a take of what's going on here with Biden and Sanders campaigns. If you don't mind, James, let's check out what's going on in the Warren HQ.
As you know, MJ, 0% of the precincts have officially reported. How are folks over there at the Warren headquarters reacting?
That's right. Well, you know, here at Elizabeth Warren's election night headquarters in Des Moines, people are starting to fill into the ballroom, so there is a level of excitement here. But you're absolutely right. The TVs are turned on to CNN, and everyone is waiting for these results to start trickling in. And we know that Senator Warren was at her hotel earlier to watch these results coming in, and she also visited a caucus site to try to get people excited in these final minutes. And I will tell you, talking to some of these people who are in the room right now, there are mixed emotions. One woman that I talked to, for example, who just got here from a caucus site, she said that she was feeling really sad because where she was at her site, Elizabeth Warren was not viable the first round. And so she ended up having to choose a second choice because Warren was not viable. And that second person was